Cameroonians are virtually divided on what is going on in the country. The north, west, and southwest regions are pulling the strings from the center. Pressure group known as Brigade Anti-Sardina is at the other end. Meanwhile, other shades of opinion are trapped in the middle. Now, in the face of all this, the youths are confused on what direction to follow. And at the time there is a universal clamor for peace to reign in the country, the youths are nevertheless involved in the peace process. Now, News Retrospective will revisit some of the major news-making events in the course of the week. I want to thank you for keeping the date with us on these installments of the program, News Retrospective 24, Samuel Randolph, and Kejang Henry Atimbe. The week as we saw with our different reporters, just to refresh our minds. Welcome back. With the ongoing crisis in Cameroon, be it in the northwest region or in the southwest region, be it in the far north or in the east region of the country, the spillovers is not only felt by the decision makers, but most importantly, by the younger generation. Donald Ngateng is a youth leader. In fact, he is the executive director of Cameroon Youth Assembly, Peace Crusader, and entrepreneur coach. He's one of my guests on today's edition of the program News Retrospective. Thanks, Donald, and welcome to join me.
Thank you, Henry. It's my pleasure to be here once again.
When I hear a lot of titles, I'm afraid. Cameroon Youth Assembly, Peace Crusader, entrepreneur coach, executive director, very young person. Donald, you are just coming in from the southwest region of the country. Probably let me just ask, how is that part of the country faring?
To talk about, it's not easy, but
as a young man,
I have a motto: we will not rely on our hurts or on our wounds, but we will forge ahead so that we can all make our nation a better place.
And so, is the southwest region quiet, Buea, particularly where you're coming from?
Yeah, Buea is quiet. Buea is quiet.
And so no hurdles on the way between Buea and Douala?
No hurdles, just the normal police checks and all the likes.
You did no gunshots?
No gunshots. No gunshots.
Thanks very much, Donald, for coming. Now, the present situation in the country, the socio-economic or say political crisis, is affecting the youth. As a member of the Cameroon Youth Assembly and as the executive director, what position stand are the youths taking in the face of all this?
Just to know that young people must be fully engaged in whatever is happening. Young people should be fully...
Ça entre? Oui. Oui, on va couper au montage. Attends, non, on va... Franck, il faut répondre, pardon, décroche, parce que la personne qui vient là, voilà ça, réponds. Ouais, Franck, non, tu réponds, demande à la personne, tu vas voir le nom, c'est un, des branches. Ouais, il y a des flies et des autres passe sur les massas. Ouais, c'est... Mais tu ne vas pas le mouche partout là. Non, j'ai dit des branches, tu sors avec. C'est qui nous dit donc? Ah oui, une minute. Demandez qui vient, il s'assoit là-bas. Prends, tu sors avec. Tu sors, tu vas le prendre là-bas. Tu dis que je suis à l'antenne, tu ne peux pas sortir, qui patiente. Puis tu passes 15 minutes, c'est le monsieur Kwam, son fils. Ouais, pas répondre, tu dis qu'il a l'antenne, ouvre la porte. Tu sors.
Allô? Oui.
Bon, je commence où? Là où je...
Just start with me now. Just start when you're...
Bon, non, je reprends la partie où il dit, où je demande en tant que jeune. Non, ça va, on ne reprend rien parce que j'ai déjà bien parlé. Non, demande que Canal 2. Oh. Now, Donald Gatton, you are the executive director of Cameroon Youth Assembly. In the face of all these problems in the country, what is the stand the youths have taken to be able to maybe abate the situation as a contribution?
Just to note that, Henry, other youths like myself, I'm sure, my friends and other young people, especially at Cameroon Youth Assembly and other places where we've done trainings, youths are they want to be fully engaged to bring a lasting solution to these problems. Either it's through peace building, it's through youth empowerment, through entrepreneurship, through capacity building, and through skills acquisition. So they think that all these things add together. Particularly, you know, our country is in search for peace. There's much talk about peace, the return of peace. And if you notice, in 2016, the United Nations coined the theme for that year, for world peace that year, as Sustainable Development Goals, Building Blocks of Peace. So the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, we see them as the building blocks of peace. So we are doing whatever possible to achieve these goals and achieve peace. You know, without peace, nothing is actually possible.
But there is a problem, Donald. The youths are complaining that they have been sidelined in all the process, in the development process, and that is probably why they are frustrated, and some, let me just say those of the Northwest and Southwest regions, are virtually bitter about what is happening. Do you think that you are very much involved in any process to help the situation?
I'm very much involved when it comes to, in many aspects, when it comes to whether it's youth empowerment, it's peace building, whether it's coaching or skills acquisition. Because throughout this year, from January up to this point, I've been involved in trainings at university levels, at other local levels, to empower youths to acquire the skills necessary so that they can have something doing for themselves, not to be idle. Because we realize that young people become at times radical because they lack what to do. They become radical, they lack what to do. And more particular, just to note that from the 26th to the 29th of June 2019, were chosen from the 4 conflict-stricken regions of our country, that's far north, northwest and southwest, and the east, were selected and trained in Yaoundé. The opening ceremony was at Eric by an organization,
the School of International Relations.
Yes, by an organization called Local Youth Corner, in collaboration with the Ministry of Youth and Civil Education and the Ministry of External Relations, particularly the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth Minister Delegate was there. We were trained on how youths can facilitate the peace process in Cameroon. And what we noted is that one of the key things why youths are becoming radicalized is because they lack what to do. And so we discovered that youth empowerment and entrepreneurship can be a leeway to stop radicalization and violence of young people. Particularly, that's what I'm doing. Because we've talked to young people, particularly those who have visited the bushes, and what they say is that what led them here is because they don't have something doing. So how do you get them? How do you stop them?
It sounds interesting there. You have visited the bushes. Are you welcomed by those young people who have carried guns?
I wish to tell you, I wish to know that, Henry. Whatever they are hurt or whatever are hurt, there's always that yearning for peace.
And so do you inform them that you want to meet them to talk to them?
Yes, we go and, for example, you go to the Northwest and you visit villages, they come around, the same people, they come around as normal people. You talk to them, and when you realize what's their problem is either they are hurt, they are not only hurt,
they don't have something
to do.
To earn a living.
To earn a living, how do they leave the bushes to come? So youth empowerment is very, very much central.
Now, but Donald, when you talk to these policymakers who trained you, some of them, you know, I'm glad to hear that the minister delegate in charge of Commonwealth was there.
The director of
the School of International Relations
was there, and the Secretary General of the Ministry of Youth and Civil Education was there.
Now, what do you tell them about the problems of the youth and solutions that they can bring rather than just holding talks in hotels or in the amphitheaters?
To note that we were trained by an organization in Cameroon. If you've heard, in Cameroon, there's this organization that's involved in transforming prisoners into prisonpreneurs. That's Local Youth Corner.
Yes, prisonpreneurs.
Prisonpreneurs of Achaleke. Yes.
Productive prisons.
Yes, of Achaleke Christian.
Good.
And they are the people who trained us. And together, these policymakers, I think they have understood. And they